Well, it's just coming up to 6 in the morning and I've travelled a little bit further today, back to one of my childhood haunts, one of my old canals. I'm on the Grand Union Canal in Warwickshire today. I grew up fishing all this area around here, and I went to school in this village as well where I am today. So I'm really looking forward to this. What spurred my desire to come back to this bit of canal specifically is finding an old photo of me and my brother and a few of my mates actually fishing this peg. And my brother that day caught a nice big tench on sweet corn, I think it was, and he had a bream that day as well. I don't know if I caught or not, I can't even remember. All I remember is those two big fish, and they're the ones we got a photograph with, and I don't know who took the photo, to be honest, but it brought back a load of old memories. And we would have fished either a waggler or a bomb, and that's it. We never fished anything else of that sort of age or anything. So but I came down just a couple of days ago for a little recce just to see what it looked like. I had some work this way anyway, so it seemed like a good opportunity to come down. I just came with my lure rod, and immediately I realised there was fish everywhere. The colour of the canal was lovely compared to my Oxford canal. It's got a lovely green tinge. You could only see a foot down. It just looked perfect. Still no boats on the canals here. Certainly it wasn't when I fished anyway. Anyway, I had about an hour and had a couple of nice perch and a nice zander as well. Also had a bit of a mishap with my camera falling in. So I had to, and it took some getting out that camera as well. So, but I never saw any fish on the camera. But anyway, it still sparked my desire to come back and have a fish. I've seen fish topping all the way down the canal. Not just where I am here, all the way down. So that's promising, roach and things like that. So and anyway, whilst I was fishing a couple of days ago, I noticed, well, I heard a great big fish roll, and I didn't realise I'd actually caught it on camera as well. So I'll just show you that on screen now. As you can see, it's a big old fish. I don't know what it is, a zander or a big roach or a skimmer or something, but they're proper chunky fish that's come out there, isn't it? So, but anyway, I've not come with my pole tackle. This towpath's not great for shipping back or anything. The one essential bit of gear I brought with me today is a pair of shears, just to make sure it's all clear behind me so people can get past me. Actually, it's a lot wider than I remembered, so I haven't actually needed to snip it too much. Just get rid of a few branches, so you have to do social distancing and everything in mind. So that's the only extra bit of tackle I've brought today, a pair of shears. But what I have brought, there's no pole in sight today. What I'm fishing with are these. I'm going to be fishing the Waggler. Now, most of these I've made myself, and it's these specific ones in the middle. Just put them away. They're the ones that I want to be fishing with today. I made these about 20 years ago. Very, very thin peacock body. It's probably got a matchstick or something in the end there, arrowed in, and a long cane antenna. Now these are 2.5 BB, 3 BB and 3.5 BB. Absolutely perfect little floats. They look brilliant. 20 years later, they still look good enough to fish with now. And they're a bit stronger than some of my old canal wagglers as well. I did bring an old Dave Barrows waggler that I was going to potentially use today. See if I can find him. Where is he? There you are. That's a Dave Barrows caster waggler, I think that was called. I don't know if you can just read what it says on there. But I snapped the tip off just a couple of days ago, so I won't be using that. But that came free on the cover of Angler's Mail, I remember, a 2BB waggler. So, but those are the all balsa wagglers. I've got quite a few, but they're a nightmare for snapping off and that. Lovely tapered balsa wagglers, but they snap for England. So, and I've also got some sort of step peacock wagglers as well, insert wagglers, thin inserts as well, if it's a bit more. If I need a bit more visibility or a bit more buoyancy. But these are the beauties I want to be fishing with today. I made these myself, must be well over 20 years old, and I'm really looking forward to using them. So let's get plumbed up and see what we're going to do. This is what I brought today. I brought my compact holdall, and that's just got my landing net handle in. So we'll quickly assemble that. I've only brought it as 2 pieces today. That's my old Aqua sandal. Lovely strong handle, but just a nice handle to have on me with me light set up. It'll I have my expensive Horizon one in my big bag, and I just carry this one as my sort of spare on my little mini missions now. So that's about 3 meters long. Let's put the end cap on. And the other thing I've got is, well, the only other thing I've got is my rod. Now it's quite a specialist, a canal rod's quite a specialist item, and there aren't many companies at all. In fact, I only know one that actually makes a decent canal rod. So this is a Cadence 11-foot #1 ultra light. Normally I'd be using my Matrix Horizon pellet Waggler rod for 11-foot, but that'd be a bit too fierce for what I'm going to be doing today, fishing 010 bottoms. Mate, I don't think I'll be any lighter than that. But it's 2-piece, and I've matched that up with an Aquos 3000 reel, and that's got 016 line on. I'd like to go on 014 ideally, because it's that little bit thinner. The thinner the better on a canal like this, but there's no wind or anything today, and that's what was on the reel, so that's what we're using. So it's already shotted up and ready to go. So if I just get the cast this out and just show you how I carry my rod made up. It's a really nice soft rod, this, so you see. So for this sort of fishing, there's not many places you actually need a rod like that anymore, hence why they're hard to get hold of. But anyway, that's all I've got. I've shot the Waggler up already at home, 2.5 BB Waggler, and I've just got a link swivel, a couple of number 4s, sorry, a couple of BBs, and then 5 number 10s down the line to a loop. Obviously I'm going to spread this all up, but I shove it all down to the end, wind it up to the tip, set the clutch nice and light, and I carry the rod 2-piece made up like that. So and importantly, I don't know if you can see that, they're old anchor shot, but they're squeezed onto a tiny little bit of fine silicone. You can probably see that against the yellow of my top. Well, that obviously means I can really squeeze them on hard, but I can still move them up and down the line without damaging them. It's important on this relatively thin reel line. So we'll move them up nice and easy, and we'll have to put the old Waggler on. My old 2.5 BB one, where is he? That looks like it. No, that's 3 BB. I'll step on these if I'm not careful. There we are, 2.5 BB Waggler. Pop it on. This float adapter is probably 10 years old, if not that. So, that's all we've got to do now is plumb up.
I just whipped a small 10-gram plummet on. I'm thinking of fishing about 2/3 across, which is in line with the boat channel, because actually the lock to my left is actually on the opposite, further away from me. It's not on the inside, it's across. So that's the line of travel most of the boats will take. So that should be like the deeper channel. But I'm just plumbing close first just to see. That's how deep it is there. What's that? 1, 2, 3, 3.5 to 4 foot. It's quite flat actually. Just flick it out a little bit more. See what happens. Yeah, that's surprisingly flat there. Just have a little lob further out. I'm just going to pick a comfortable distance really. Yeah, so that is the boat channel there, so that's definitely gone down. That's what I was expecting. I reckon it's going to be about 4 to 5 foot where I'm going to be fishing down that channel. This side of it. Push these back up and see. Now, before I go on, I've swapped to me slightly heavier Waggler, just because it's a little bit wider. I've had a few little casts, and it just casts a little bit more comfortably the distance than the smaller Waggler. So, but what I found out is that I've left my BBs at home, so I'm having to make up my shot with number 1s. So that's why there's a few more shot on the line now. I haven't got any BBs. And to be honest, most of my float fishing is done with loaded floats these days, so I don't, unless I'm on the river, I don't carry big shot. So, but I'm surprised I haven't got any BBs in my box. All I ever used to use was a 2 or 3 BB Waggler back in the day in these canals before I got my pole. It's a little bit more than that. And what I've done, I've took one of the shot off, one of the biggest shot, one of the number ones off. So actually this float at the moment is undershotted, which makes plumbing up a lot easier. So we're making a bit of commotion plumbing up, but I'm not too concerned. Oh, I can just see the float there. Oh yeah. It's hard to plumb on a Waggler, especially on a slope, because obviously you've not got the accuracy that you have with a pole. I can actually just see, no, it is a little bit shallower, when that's popping up. To be honest, I could actually go around the other side here and plumb up. But we'll do what we'd normally have to do, which is cast out a plummet like I am today. So somewhere in between those two, and we'll bang on. Let's move up a little bit more. It's about there. We're almost there. It's a nice gentle lob. I don't want to cast too many times, but you need to cast as many times as it takes to get the depth. Just creeping back up that. Right. So that's our depth, and I'm looking at the sort of shadow line of that concrete far bank. So it's good to go there. Hook wise, I'm going with a big hook. I'm fishing a 16 to start with. And I'm only fishing with maggots today. But I can fish 2 on a 16 or a single. But I always think with Waggler fishing, you miss quite a lot of bites. And if you go on a slightly bigger hook, you just seem to hit more bites on a slightly bigger hook with Waggler fishing in general. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to hook it up in the keeper ring there. Tighten the reel on. Don't want to lose that. And then I'm going to count it up. I'm going to mark it on the rod. You can see that. Can mark it on the rod at depth. You could count the rings, but I always forget what I've counted to. But that's what we've got. Oh, I need to put one more shot back on there, and then we're in business. Alright, we're in business. I've put my 3.5 BB Waggler on now. That just seems perfect for the distance and everything. So I've just gone up a little size. And obviously, I'm using number ones because I've got my BBs. But that's perfectly shotted. Those, and I've got 4 number 10s down the line. I've put one up by the bulb, but it's just four number 10s down the line in about the bottom half, so it's not going to wrap over itself. And loop to loop, could use a tiny little micro swivel, but for now I'm going to use a loop to loop to 010, which is about 20 centimetres. In fact, it is 20 centimetres to a 16 black nickel hook, fine wire. Micro barb, and I'm going to start off with the old faithful red maggot. Put one on to start with, just to see what we can catch, and then I'm going to feed as soon as we cast out. Sideways cast to start with. Right, that cast lovely. We're varying my cast today. Overhead's definitely better. Get my range with a few maggots. Lovely. I fancy putting a bit of ground bait in as well. Couple of balls. This is my old faithful dynamite skimmer mix, and Friends and Hemp Seed Match Black. Probably throw in 3 little sausages. Tiny fish just jumped over there. I mixed it on the dry side this actually, so it'll explode a little bit. See how accurate I am? That's not too bad. Oh, half a metre short. Don't mind. Create more of an area. Oh, that was fun. It's alright. Don't mind feeding a bit of ground bait, a bit short. Almost on the float. I think if you have made a bad one, you must correct yourself with a good one. So. Go on, in for a penny, in for a pound. Let's throw in. Another one. Quite like throwing. Just come and throw bait. Not too bad. A little bit short of where I wanted, but at least I've not gone past it. Lovely little plot. I'm not going to go too gung-ho with the loose feed to begin with. We are on a canal after all. Perfect. It's got how nice a little waggler like that goes in. And basically the bulk shot takes it right to the base of that bristle, and then those 4 number 10s just trim it right down. Absolutely beautiful watching the float settle like that. And obviously if it doesn't settle, a fish has had it on the way down. It just looks beautiful. I've not brought a rod rest. I don't like to use a rod rest too much when I'm waggler fishing. I'd rather just trap it at my knees like that. I can still feed and do whatever I want. So that's what I prefer to do. See, give it 10 minutes to get my first bite, I'll be happy. Keep trickling half a dozen maggots over the top. Hopefully they'll be biting pretty soon. Now, according to the Canal and Rivers Trust website, you are actually allowed a keep net now for pleasure fishing on a canal. But a lot of people aren't aware of that rule yet, but you are. But I haven't brought one today. One, to keep things down to a minimum, keep things nice and light. I know there's a bit of colour in this bit here, so I'm not going to spook the fish as much as where I've been fishing recently. But also, I just don't want people moaning, "Oh, you're using a keep net," when I actually know I'm allowed to now. But you just get a few keyboard warriors who aren't as informed as they should be, thinking we're still not allowed to use them. Well, we are allowed to use them, but I've chose not to today. Maybe next session I'll bring a keep net out, especially if I go back to the Oxford. But that is sitting there lovely. Now there's not a breath of wind, there's no tow, there's no boats, so I can get away with that really fine antenna. But once it starts towing, if it does tow, or if any boats on that and it gets a bit choppier, then I won't hesitate to switch to a thicker insert peacock or a bolster top. That little fine cane tip is just ultimate sensitivity on a waggler, really. Give it a little bit of a flick, brings it over the feed a little bit more and just flicks the hook bait up, hopefully. Come on, fishies. I know you're there. Now I've been up at the crack of dawn again, as usual, and I'm going to fish till 8:30, 9 at the very latest. Let's put 2 maggots on. Must be one stuck to my finger. There you are. Let's try double white maggot. Sideways lob. Sometimes you're a little bit worried about the vegetation behind you. You can hold the hook bait and cast that way. That worked quite nicely then. Practice it a little bit more. I'm a bit rusty at the old Waggler casting game at the moment. Rusty at keep doing everything at the moment. Just keep flicking some maggots in every chuck. Sometimes 3 or 4 that time. 2s. Keep some bait going in. It's quite nice to fish a bigger area with a Waggler. Sometimes I feel you're a bit too precise with a pole. Ooh, that was another little lift. Certainly clutch light. It's a roach, I think. Oh, it might be a rud. Might be a rud, you know. You swing him. It's a rud. Well, I wouldn't have expected my first fish to be a rud. Talking to my friend, and he says he's seen loads of shoals of rud on the Grand Union during lockdown. Lovely. Got the scourge, haven't I? Well, I'm more than happy. My first fish is a rud on the Waggler. That's a skimmer or a hybrid. I'd say it's a little hybrid, wouldn't you? Put 2 on now. 1 of each. So when I did come here with my lure tackle, it was blowing a hoolie. So it would have ruled out Waggler fishing completely anyway if I'd have brought it. It's absolutely perfect Waggler conditions at the moment. So we've had 2 proper bites, 2 fish. Not too bad. 2 species. See how many different species we can catch. My brother's tench would be nice if he's still alive. It's nice to flex the Waggler muscles. There's a little light Wagglers, they don't dive at all, it's beautiful, they just go dunk. Nice little plop on the surface. You can just see every single shot settle on them long tips I've made. It's a pleasure to use something you've made yourself. Always been tinkering with fishing gear, trying to make things, and can't be a more satisfying feeling than leaning into a good fish on a Waggler that you've made yourself. And this is a good fish. Ooh, what is it? Just seen it flash under the surface. It's a netter anyway. Ooh, it's either a skimmer or a hybrid. It looks a bit hybridy to me. Yeah. It's the first quality fish. he a hybrid or a skimmer? Doesn't matter, does it? He wasn't coming off anyway. That was on my red and white combo. Look, all that snot up the line, eh? It's a good sign of a good day, isn't it? Being covered in snot. Right, we'll try that again then. One red through the fat end, and one white through the pointy end. I tend to top and tail double maggot these days. Hangs a lot better, doesn't propeller, so it doesn't spin your, doesn't spin your hook length up. Surprised you haven't had a perch yet. Felt like there was plenty of perch here when I came lure fishing. I had a couple and I had a few small fish come off. Ooh, that came off. That was a good fish. Wasn't as big as the last one. Okay. He was a bit very jagged fight, that. Looked about 8 ounce. Yeah. What we got here? Perch. There we are. It wouldn't take long to arrive. Oop. Enjoying this. There can't be a better feeling than chucking a waggler and catching fish on it, or missing bites on it. Another fast bite. I was on a single maggot. Pop 2 back on. 16's a little bit big for a single on a canal. Sink the line at the moment. Oh, I started off on canals as a kid, fishing off the rod end with little south cocker floats, and then we've progressed to little 2BB, 3BB wagglers, side casting with a little 10-foot glass rod. It probably would have been trying to get them under the bushes. Soon learned an elastic band round it worked like a line clip, so you wouldn't overcast. Got quite good at flicking a little waggler. Ooh, missed that. There's a couple of bites now. Oh, look at that. Oh, how did you miss that? Look at that, snaffled. That's been in its gob, hasn't it? That was on double bite. Double white one. So I don't think there's anything wrong with that, I just think I was a bit unlucky. Don't have to move the float up just a touch, just to give the fish a bit more, just a couple of inches, a bit more time. Just see if going a couple of inches more over depth will help. A bit roachy. Is there a roach? No, skimmer. Hybrid. So he just hooks in the lip, isn't he? More hybrids. Is that a roach? Yeah, we have a roach. Nice chunky roach. Happy with that on the squat, and then Twitched it, had a good bite. Stick fish. Sticky, sticky, stick, stick. Stick, 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 sticky, sticky, stick, stick. Go back with me cocktail. Red and a white. Oh, he's off. Oh well. Shouldn't try and swing now, should we? I'd have netted him if it was a match. Honest. What time is it? It is 7:47. We've already had a nice enough day, but we'll have another hour. 45 minutes to an hour, and then we'll go home before the world wakes up. That's a nice roach. Lovely roach. Double maggot on the Waggler. Plop. I've had a few sessions on the Oxford, and I've noticed they're nowhere near as good as people's sessions they've been having on the Grand Union, and I can see why now. The canal's got a bit more colour, a little bit more depth, and it just looks a whole lot more fishier than my bit of the canal. Beat the boats, which there aren't any of at the moment. This is great though, isn't it? Who doesn't enjoy this sort of fishing? Chucking a nice little light waggler out, 1 or 2 maggots, pint and a half of maggots there. That's probably a pint more than I need today. A little bit of ground bait. Oh yes. It's a skimmer. Proper jagging. I can see he's got a bit of a cut from here. That's how clear the water is. Yeah, that's a proper skimmer. Oh yeah, something's had a go at him. That side's alright, but that side, not so pretty. Put him straight back. Nice skimmer though. Thought, well, couldn't be anything simpler really today, could there? A couple of maggots on a 16. As you plumb it up, I've just chosen to go about 4/5 of the way across, 3/4. Whack a few maggots in. Oh, a bit generous then. Could do this for a minute, huh? Yeah, got one, thanks. Nice one. Flipping a bit, yeah. Skimmer bream. Yeah, gonna get hot later. He's after my bait. Ooh. Definitely got a bit of hybrid in him. Easily got double figures now already. It's definitely a hybrid. Look at that. Oh, and he's pooping. In fact, they're all very slimy here. Very slimy fish. Very, very rarely just sit and catch. I know when I'm satisfied, and I like to go home satisfied, catch a few fish. Don't have to sit here all day. Drop. Little in. What have I fed? Not even half a pint of maggots. Quarter a pint of maggots. And 6 little sausages of ground bait. What could be easier? Actually just starting to get a breeze, a little right to left breeze now. So that's gonna start dragging the Waggler off course a little bit. So we might have to drag a bit more line to help keep the float in position, and also give it a squirt of washing up liquid. Yeah, it's just come from nowhere, that little bit of skim. Sink the line properly this time. Cast a little bit further. There it is. Flick. Job done. My canal bag's a bit longer than what some people would use on here. I think that helps when the wind gets up. Bury a bit more line under the water. Fishing in like 3, 4, 5, 6 foot of water. These are ideal. It's just starting to skim through a little bit now, so I'm just going to put a little bit of detergent on the reel. Where's the lid gone? There it is. That's just washing up liquid, and a little tiny atomizer that you get from Boots and places. Oh, just got a little fix that first. So just coiled off after doing that. Should cut through the surface skim like butter now. Let's keep the float where it is a bit better. Last thing you want is a float dragging through unnaturally, especially if there's skimmers about. But a bit of a shadow, a bit of a breeze, a bit of everything that's happening now. And you can just tell the day's changed a little bit. And I don't know if they've just backed off for a little bit, or something big's moved in, or the sun sort of shied them off a little bit. Not quite sure what's happened now, but I've just gone 10 minutes without a bite. Float's sitting there nice again. Just dragging, and just lifted. Oh yes. Well, it is. It's a perch, would be a bad sign. No, it's another little hybrid. I love catching these. Beautiful fish. The sun's a bit brighter now. That sluice is fired up by the lock, whatever that is. I imagine it's to keep the levels topped up. Must be on some sort of sensor or timer. Who knows? But it's definitely slowed up a little bit now. I've had a couple of old boys haven't stopped for a chat as well, walking the dog. So I've stopped fishing for a little bit, or stopped filming for a little bit. A couple of fish still whilst I was gassing. Obviously from a socially acceptable distance. But I've definitely had a good day. Double figures of silvers. Before 8:30 in the morning. It'd just be nice to catch a couple more, just to round it off. And then pack up with a nice big smile on my face. Come on, you skimmers. To be honest, this bit here, I don't actually fish very often, or never used to, never needed to. I used to fish nearer where I lived, and going a bit more towards Leamington and Spa as well. That's where, they're the bits I grew up fishing. We did fish here now and again. To be honest, I think the bits near where we used to live were better. I felt they were. Plus that's where the matches were. So they're the bits I fish the most, trying to practice and hone me canal skills. We used to fish at least 2 evening matches a week. One at Napton, one at Basket. We used to fish one on the Grand Union at Knoll, on Tavern Water it used to be called. We used to fish jet breakers matches. I used to fish a Leamington Liberals, one at Napton. That was hard fishing, but enjoyable on a Monday, every Monday night. So I used to fish several evening matches a week. They've all gone. No one fishes evening matches anymore. Well, no one fishes matches anymore at the moment, but no one fishes evening matches anyway. I don't seem to. There's a definite little draw on it now. It's not the skim. Whatever's going on there is just pulling the float. There's just a little bit of like an undertow now. It's probably not a bad thing, a little bit of movement. But it was just trundling really, really slowly through. It's not dragging under. I don't know if it's a coincidence or not, but since that thing's come on, I've not had a bite. Can't imagine how that would stop me having a bite, but it's just a big coincidence, I think. Pop a single back on. Yeah. Just found a little nugget. 2 nuggets. But yeah, I've definitely stopped getting bites now, for whatever reason. So we'll see if a couple little nuggets of ground bait spark them. And it's definitely drawing towards that sluice that's running now. It's definitely pulling that way. It's not the breeze, the wind's all but stopped again. It's I'm wondering if the canal's actually topping itself up actually. I think that's what's happening. So probably going to have to add a couple of inches to the depth. It looks like it's, you can actually see the water line. It looks like it's come up a little bit. Yeah, it's definitely towing now. We'll see if we catch 1, maybe 2 fish, and then we'll call it a day. Move the float up a little bit more just to compensate for the tow and the water coming up. Oh, that was a bite. First bite for ages, that. A little bit more over there. perch. A fat one though. Oh, real angry one, look at him flaring out. There we are. Is that a fish? Get this in, this will be a nice fish to end on. It's a good fish, whatever it is. Oh, it's an eel. It's an eel. An Ian Beale. An eel. Well, try and get him backwards. There we are. It's a funny fish to end on. He's only in the lip. Oh, spat the hook out. It's proper ruined me hook. Big blob of slime. I think that's a weird fish to end on, but the right one to end on. A wriggly eel. There's no point even trying to hold him. We've caught a number of species and it's not the fish I expected to end on, but yeah, I haven't caught an eel for ages, not since last summer on the river, and I can't remember the last time I caught one on the canal, so yeah, we'll treat that as a sign to end there. Yeah, slimy thing. So it's me putting another hook length on as well. Strange but nice way to end a thoroughly enjoyable Waggler session. Well, there you are, an eel. Not what I expected for my last fish, but hello. But a nice fish nonetheless. I'm going to put him back and get home. Oof, off like a shot that was. Half a pint of maggots, a little waggler rod, a few little homemade wagglers, and 5 or 6 different species of fish as well. Double figures, job done. Let's get home and have some breakfast.